Ladies and gentlemen, glad to have everyone back. New episode here, City Skyline, new series, City Skyline. Glad to have everyone back. Go ahead and smash that like button if you're happy and you're looking forward to the new City Skyline series here. It helps me out a lot, brings more viewers to the channel. Everybody wins. I did mention in my previous video, if you haven't checked that out already, I will link that down in the description below. Did a little mini review of City Skylines, like the first 4 or 5 days of me playing it. I'm actually going to give one of my viewers a chance to win a version of City Skylines through Steam. All you got to do is be subscribed, drop a like, and leave a comment. I'm actually going to go through all these at the end of the week, and one of you lucky viewers is going to be picked completely at random. I might even do a little video on the channel showing you how random it is going to win. I'm going to get a regular version of City Skylines, and so for those of you out there that maybe don't have money to afford it, I'll get somebody, a chance to have some fun with it. So be subscribed, drop a like, leave a comment, and you're entered to win. So let's get started. We're going to go ahead and do a new game. We are going to take it kind of slow, I guess. Some other YouTubers out there, they drop so many videos. It's hard to keep up. For me in particular, I'm a working dude, so I can't get so many videos out at a given time. But we will do our best. We'll try to make it so everyone can keep up. Very similar to when you start off a region in SimCity, it actually gives you your natural resource list. It seems like every city's got an adequate amount. Some have got a little bit more than others, but I don't know. And then it lists the water. What is it? No ship connections. Well, wouldn't you always have a plane connection? I don't know. How would you not have a plane connection? For an underground city, maybe. Alright, so let's just pick one. I don't know. This Islands one seems pretty cool. Let's try that. I'm trying to record in 60 FPS also. So if you notice some jumpiness, I'm going to try it in the first episode. If it goes and works well, then we may keep it moving forward. I like the 60 FPS option in YouTube. I definitely, whenever I watch videos, if I can, I try to select that option. So we'll see if we can bring that to the viewers of the channel. There's no autosave in this game that I can find, so make sure when you're playing you're constantly saving, otherwise you'll be like me and you'll lose 5 hours of progress. So if you know of an autosave option, please let me know, because I still can't find it in the game. So here we are, we're starting out in our little plot here. As you can tell, this is about the size of a SimCity plot. I'm going to do a lot of comparisons between this and SimCity, because for the most part everything on my channel is SimCity. I believe that the devs, this is my honest opinion, I believe that the developers of this game, sat at a round table with SimCity on a screen and were like, how can we make this game better? And they just sat there, and that's all that they did. And I really do. There are some flaws to this game. I talked about it in my previous video about the roads and stuff like that, but for the most part, this game's really good. You guys are going to like this. If you already own the game, I'm sure you'll like it, and if you're about to own the game, I definitely recommend it. So, like I said, starting off here, you got a plot size similar to SimCity. As we get new residents, we're going to actually have opportunities to buy more tiles outside of this normal city block here. So stay tuned for that. We start off with 70,000. I don't know if it's euros or I don't know what the heck currency that is, but you can call it whatever you want. And a couple things I like to do when I first start out, the few cities that I've had, is I don't like to skimp out on roads. And let me explain. The couple instances I have, I believe you have to just draw a road just to kind of get things cooking here. But if you start your city with something ridiculous like this, you're just going to have issues. Granted, you have your little upgrade tool, and, you can, I don't know, you can upgrade a little bit, I guess, to this, and then to this, I guess. But I don't know. I feel that it's just better to kind of go for it at the beginning here. And we'll get into why in later episodes, and you're going to see that it's going to pay off for you. You might have different opinions, but my opinion is to just go for it. Coming into the city, I'd stick with a one-way. Going out, I feel a little bit differently about it, but let's go ahead. Let's go back to let's do a curve road tool. Okay, so let's just draw a little road here. We don't have to go crazy with it. This is going to be our entry point to our city. Leaving the city, I think you can kind of go back and forth with it, but one way leaving out the city, I haven't seen too much backup getting out of the city. I think for the most part, most of your citizens are going to stay in the city anyway. But getting out to the highway, I should say, I haven't noticed too many issues with that. So what we'll do is we'll just stick to a normal. Bam. And this is also 6 lanes, but you've got opportunities to go in each direction. So that's the difference. Now, a couple quick things that we're going to have to work on here in this first episode is getting water and power. We've got some water here. One thing you want to check, and I think if you click on this here, one of these here. Yes, this is what we want. Water direction. As important as wind direction in SimCity, water direction is important in City Skylines. And I'm going to tell you why. If, for example, you go ahead, you've got your drain pipe and you've got your water pumps. If you go ahead and you put your drain pipe up here, okay, it's going to pollute all this water. And you see the arrows that you just think of pollution. It's just going to pollute all this. It's going to pollute all this down in here and all this up here. You're pretty much not going to leave yourself any room for your clean, fresh water, your water pumping station. So when you start out, I would recommend starting with your drain pipe and find a location where it's going to affect the least amount of water as possible. Now, if you look at this here, I don't think any of this is a good idea. Up here, if you put a drain pipe up here, the only water that's going to be affected is this water up here, and it's going to flush out into this main little, there we go. It's going to flush out in here and whatever. Up here is probably your best bet. Once you put the water drain pipe in, your water pump can go anywhere. It's your drain pipe that's going to cause the problem. So let's go ahead. I'm going to show you what I mean once we get the city up and running here, I think. Because I put on pause for right now. Go ahead and we put drain pipe, okay? And then, like I said, our water pump, you can pretty much put this anywhere. I guess we could just put it there. Okay? Before we connect everything up, let's get some power. I've noticed that the wind turbine is probably your best bet. It doesn't cost very much, and it's pretty efficient when you first get going. After you start cooking, after you start getting some some industry in, then I would say you want to move maybe to the coal or the oil power plant. I did, and then I believe they have other ones here available. Nuclear. I don't even think I unlocked that one. Oh yeah, probably not, because you need 36,000 residents. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's find a spot for this. I would say try to keep your power off the get-go as close to your city as possible. If you go ahead and put it down here because you see green, you're gonna use your money up drawing power lines everywhere. So I would say keep, maybe if we do like 2 sounds good. And then we're gonna have to draw power lines to our water, so everything is free flowing. And pipes, because we got to connect everything up. And this is going to be our small bit of residential. We're going to get cooking with that here. And it gives you that little chime once it actually connects. I don't know if you need water out here. Maybe you do. And then we'll kind of bring this down, and there we go. And let's press play. Alright, so this is our little chirper up here. I haven't gotten into too much details with this, but this is kind of like, I guess it's a mock of Twitter. It shows little residents that make comments about stuff. Right now, we don't have any residents, so I'm not sure where those are coming from, but you'll see once we get some people in here, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Now that we've got a solid entry point to the city, I think we can maybe go ahead and connect some of this stuff up here. Let's see what our best choices are. I would say, I guess for right now, I just don't want to burn through all of our cash. You know what I mean? You guys will thank me later for this. Okay. Where are we at? 29.9. Okay, we're good. We're good, people. Okay, traffic's going to come in. They're going to say, do I want to go left? This is going to be our industry out here. Do I want to go right to where I live? And then we're going to keep our commercial district up in here. I always like to keep commercial in between residential and industrial. I know in SimCity that made a huge difference. I'm not sure in this game if it does, but we're going to stick to the same game plan. So before we can kind of get going here, let's get some regular roads down. Let's get some residents in our city. I guess we can go here. Oh, man, roads are kind of pricey here. Let's back that off. Perfect. Maybe we'll go down here. Okay. When selecting roads, a lot of you have maybe watched tutorials, but there's actually a few different little fill options. You've got fill, which basically just fills everything up. You've got like the marquee where you can draw. This is like, I think, the first SimCity 2000 or whatever. You've got a small brush, which you can like, you know, and you'll see later on once we get big time areas through here, you will actually need the small brush. I like the large brush. I think it's pretty easy. You just kind of paint. It's like MS Paint, I guess. You just paint through and everybody's happy. Let's make sure we got water. Cool. Medium speed. And we're rolling here. We got some houses coming in. I'm not going to pay too much attention to these little pop-ups here. If you'd like, you can press pause and you can read them. But they come up every so often when you first start out, telling you what to do, how to do it, what it says. We don't need any of that. We're pros here. This game's a lot like SimCity. If you know how to play SimCity, you know how to play this game. There's a couple little small quirks at the beginning, which is what I'm kind of trying to show you here, just to get rolling. But all in all, it's very similar to SimCity, with the exception of what I'm doing here. Power lines. I think it's a little tedious, but it's accurate. It's. I haven't even. This is the first time I think I've looked at the economy tab since playing this game. It's pretty shameful. A lot of this stuff is still locked. Taxes, loans. Once you hit certain milestones, you get this little milestone button here. Right now we're classified as a little hamlet. Once we get to 400, we unlock this stuff. And then there's another milestone. Once we get to, I think it's 900, it becomes something else, and you unlock more and more and more. I think I got all the way up to, like, Small City or something like that. I can't remember the name of it, but you keep unlocking stuff as you go. What our milestone is going to be here early on is trying to get to 6,500 residents, so at least we can get our high-density residential zones and our commercial and our office buildings. So that's kind of what we're shooting for here. As you can see, we've got homes coming in. We definitely need commercial. Like I said, this is going to be our little commercial quarters over here, so we can go ahead and draw a little bit in here. And then our industry, we're going to kind of try to keep it down here. I don't want it too close to the water. I guess for right now, gosh, I guess we'll put some down here for right now. Wind direction, and I know early on I talked about water direction. I don't think wind direction means anything in this game. I really don't. As long as you keep your industry away from everything else, I think you're good. You're going to start to see this purple ring that forms around your industry. I'm guessing that's just the pollution area or whatnot. So as long as you kind of keep your stuff away from it, I don't think wind direction means anything in this game. Water direction, however, does. So it kind of flip-flopped itself between games. Power early on, like I've stated, is kind of a nuisance until you kind of get everything connected up. Once everything's connected up, you're good. And those power lines will go after we get connected up. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So it looks ugly now, but it won't shortly. So let's come on, people. Let's move in. Let's crank this up. I don't believe this game is as nearly as taxing on your system as the previous SimCity game. I know early on that game had a lot of issues with people trying to run the game. I know even Mac users couldn't run it. I mean, it's just a nightmare at every which way you look at it. This game, my settings, we can check them out here real quick. I'll show you, but I mean, I've left everything high. I mean, you can go higher in some of them, but the game looks pretty much the same. I've tried it on each way. It looks pretty much the same, even with the high details. I really can't tell the difference. And you could even turn them down a little bit, and it erases some of the little foliage and textures and stuff like that, and the sway of the trees as you turn it down. So depending on your PC, I don't think you'll have any trouble running the game. All in all, I really do. I think they did a pretty good job with that. I've got some of my stuff turned down because I'm actually running like 4 programs in the background to get this recorded and everything. So you know, those of you out there that aren't running anything else, you probably can crank it up. Let's go ahead. I'm trying to keep an eye on my money here. Early on, it's very... I've noticed, for those of you that have played Banished, it's kind of like that early on. I mean, you can lose, you run out of money quick, you can run out of citizens pretty quick, but once you kind of get started here, once you get people living here, once you get people rocking and rolling, then you self-sustain pretty quickly. Actually, making money in this game is not that hard once you get going. I guess we'll put some shops over here. Our industry is booming already, so let's go ahead and draw some more. Just make sure everything's watered up. Cool. Right now we are on the fastest setting. And look at that, we've reached our first milestone, 400. Let's see what we unlocked. Taxes. So we can now check out taxes and loans, garbage, healthcare, education. We've unlocked elementary school, medical clinic, and landfills. So that's cool. We can get some garbage trucks rolling through. And I believe we get a little bit of money there, because now we're up to 31 Gs. So, like SimCity, you kind of pick an approach. Education, I know once you try to put offices in, you need educated workers to work in the offices. If you don't have educated citizens, then your university won't populate, and if your university doesn't populate, nobody will move into the offices. So if you're trying to go in the direction of like a more, metropolis, high-end business district type city, you're probably going to want to stick to education early on. If you're just trying to have fun, if you're just trying to go through the motions, then I'd say you could probably wait a little bit on the school. Healthcare, I hadn't really had too many issues. Granted, my city, I think, only got up to like 13,000 residents, so, maybe I'm talking out of my, what does that say? Garbage? Okay, so garbage production. 10,979. What I'm getting at is I would start with a landfill here. So this is climbing, this garbage production. So let's get the landfill in here. We are running out of time, people. I think garbage single-handedly has to be the toughest thing to combat, at least that I've found early on. These landfills, let me talk a little bit about landfills. They fill up fairly quickly. Right now, you'll see garbage trucks in use. It's 0% full. They're going to get sent out. They're doing great. Now, what'll happen is if you're not paying attention to this, okay? Once your city starts building up, this is going to get to 100% full, and none of your garbage trucks will be sent out. 0. In my last city, I had 3 of these landfills in a row. Everything was fine. Everything was perfect. Great, great, great. I get up to go get something to drink. I come back. Every single building in the entire city had a garbage logo on it. And I'm like, what the heck? I put it on pause. I go down here. All 3 of my landfills were completely full. Okay? What do I do? What do I do? Well, you immediately have to either add more landfills and empty these out, or you're screwed. That's it. There's no other ways to go about it. You actually are not able to demolish these and put new ones in. I know in SimCity, oh, our landfill's full. Let's go ahead and demolish it and put a new one in. We all did that. This game, you cannot demolish that when your landfill has a percentage full. You have to empty it. So until you get them emptied, those trucks are just sitting in the parking garage. It's a nightmare. And hopefully we don't get to that point, but when we do, I will explain how we handle it. So here I go. 3 landfills. I went ahead and I had to add like 4 more landfills. By the time they all got up and running, they were banned in places. It almost destroyed my whole city because I got to get a drink. So make sure you're putting the game on pause. Make sure you're paying attention to what you're doing, especially as your citizens go up. Things can get out of hand pretty quickly. For right now, 1 landfill is fine, but you'll see what I'm talking about as our episodes go on. Pay attention to your garbage. Pay attention to your garbage. People get mad when their garbage is piled up. This chirper thing's going off. It was pretty crazy. So we're looking pretty good. What's this message here? We can actually click on the building. It's saying not enough workers. Okay. Not enough workers. And as you can see, well, duh, very high demand for residential, which is a good sign. So let's go ahead. Let's add some more roads. And, you can, I don't know, if you want to do curvy roads, you can do a nice little curvy road here. Everything, there's enough room in this city, or in these city plots, that you can do cool stuff like this. You don't got to be worried about gridlock and everything, and like in the SimCity where you only had so much room. It's not like that in this game. You could spread everything out. You could put trees in between them and parks and stuff like that. It's a lot more, less stressful trying to build up some of this stuff with all the room that you have, and we'll just spread our water. It's just piece by piece until we kind of get things rolling here. And then once we get everything going, I don't think you can curve a... I guess you can't use the curve tool for the pipes. I didn't know that. So what we're going to do is let's go ahead and conclude episode 1. I know everyone out there is going to want to see more, but like I said, make sure if you'd like to be entered into the game contest, drop a like, list a comment, be subscribed. I check all that stuff before I pick my winners, so make sure you do it. I'm going to simply, next week sometime, I'm going to just pick a comment out, make sure you liked it, make sure you subscribed, and you're going to get a message from me, and we're going to get you that Steam code. So make sure you have Steam. Make sure your computer can run this game, which, like I've talked about, I don't think should be much of an issue. Next episode, we'll pick up. I'm going to pause it here so we don't do anything else. Next episode, we're going to pick up with more of the same. We're going to try to shoot for, I don't know, 100,000 residents. So thanks so much for tuning in, everybody, and we'll see everyone next time.